Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman or God, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj, to all the sages and saints of this world, and to each of you divine soul watching today's satsang. Today we are starting a brand new chapter from the Raja Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and it is termed Vibhuti Pad. It's chapter number 3, and it has 55 sutras that we will be discussing in great depth. Commentary of this wonderful scripture is by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji, and it is narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let's get started on this third chapter, Sutra number 1 in the Vibhuti Pad. But before we get started, we want to talk about the 8 steps of Patanjali Yoga, just to refresh everybody's memory. That is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. And we have covered those in great detail in the previous sutras and previous chapters. So those of you who are just watching this, I suggest you look at my playlist in my channel, and under the title Samadhi Pad and Sadhana Pad, and you will be able to catch up. But Vibhuti means glories of God, glories of meditation, the process of meditation, and then all the glories and blessings we start receiving as we intensify our meditation and sadhana. So the first 5 steps, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, are more external, more of controlling our body, controlling our practices, asana, discipline, all those things. Once we do that and we start going into dharana, dhyana and samadhi, those are the internal practices we have to do. So the first 5 are external, just disciplining the body, and the remaining 3, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, are more internal, disciplining the mind and our consciousness. So the remaining 3 are called internal, antaranga sadhana, and the first 5 are called external or bahiranga sadhana. So this is an important distinction. We have done all the disciplining of the body to just control our mind and to be able to focus. That is the key of Raja Yoga Sutra, and it works in a very sequential way. So Sutra number 1, let's get started, is Desha Bandhashchittasya Dharana. Let's repeat again. Desha Bandhashchittasya Dharana, which means that concentration is binding the chitta to a place or object. So that is the essence of this sutra, that we have to be one pointed in our thought process. And this is the early stages of concentration, when we just sit for meditation, when we have created a serene environment around us and we think of an object, any object, but it's better if it's an object that you really relate to, like your Ishta Devata, your mantra, Om, or anything that you find that pulls you and takes you to a higher dimension. So concentration is basically, at this stage, it is just focusing of the mind on any point or object, or on any idea even. In ordinary cases, the mind is very distracted. There is one thought after the other, and the mind is always, that's why they call it the monkey mind. So it has nothing to hold on to, the mind. But a yogi, somebody who is following these sutras of Patanjali Maharaj in a systematized way, he who has acquired pratyahara or withdrawal of senses, that is the 5th external sense, before we jump on into this internal. So pratyahara is called controlling of the senses. So somebody who has practiced it and they have been able to successfully withdraw the senses, for them it becomes a lot easier to focus his mind on one point, one object, place, idea, for the practice of the deeper means of yoga. So now that is the start where you start focusing and the mind starts becoming calm. So that is the essence of this sutra. And we will cover the next sutra, sutra number 2, tomorrow. Om Tat Sat.